we go.
Hey.
There he is. We're talking to comedian Dusty Slay. And Dusty, I recognize you right away. You got a full beard, though. The stash is your trademark. You got the you're going kind of for the Jesus if he had glasses and a cap on look.
Well, I can't be rolling around out here beardless. I don't need people seeing this chin, you know?
I see.
Great to see you, Dusty.
Yeah.
Yeah, great to see you. I'm pumped to be here.
Dusty Slay is a great comedian, and he's got a Netflix special that, as they say, was just dropped. I'll speak English. It was just released.
Yes.
You can see Workin' Man, which got us talking about the band Rush, Dusty, when we heard the phrase Workin' Man.
Well, I'm a little bit of a fan, and someone said that I might get a call from them about some copyright thing with the name, and I said, I'd love to talk to them.
Let's do it.
Well, you've got a tour going, and Geddy Lee has a book coming out, so we're even. Dusty has an interesting background. You were a working man there for a while. You had some real jobs. Weren't you a waiter for a long time?
Oh, yeah. Well, I worked a lot. My dad thinks I'm still in high school. I don't think he thinks I've ever worked a day in my life. He goes, what's this working man thing you're talking about? But, yeah, I waited tables. I used to work in Charleston, South Carolina at a restaurant called Hyman's, which is located on the same block as a restaurant called Sticky Fingers. And, I'm not making that up, just telling you where it is.
I remember that.
It's a seafood place.
Yes.
Hyman's a beautiful seafood place.
We've been there.
It's great. It is great.
Yeah.
And you were a waiter there. Were you a good waiter?
I think I was pretty good. I had a little bit of an attitude problem towards the end, but I think I was good, People would come in there and they would ask for weird things. They'd be like, they'd be like, you know what? I haven't done this joke in a long time, and I even forgot the joke.
That's okay.
They're like, these jokes are not on the special. I didn't forget any. They're like, what's a good wine with the fried catfish? And I'm like, I don't know, a Budweiser.
There we go.
It's a hot joke. It's a hot joke.
Dusty, you have done a number of the late night shows. Do you remember what was the first one you did? Do you remember?
Very first late night, I did Jimmy Kimmel, and I never tell people to go watch that one. I feel like that one was not that good. The jokes are great, but I don't know how to prepare for a late night at that point. But my first Tonight Show, very good.
Cool. Well, let me ask you this. Since you've said that the Kimmel event did not go well, why don't you share? What was the first joke you did on it? Do you remember?
Well, I did a joke, trailer park joke. I said, I grew up in a trailer park. We had a lot of fun, but I'm not sure why they call it a park. There were no rides in there, no water slides. We had like an occasional slip and slide or like an old tarp with some Dawn dish detergent. We put our slip and slide over a tree root one time because we was going to jump it. And that's not how that works at all.
I like that very much.
I hit that tree root. I just got up and got a job, Now,
Dusty, to go back to when you were a waiter, which is not in the special, by the way, which is on Netflix called Workin' Man. Did you have long hair and a stash and everything then?
The second time around, yeah, I had to pull it back, so I looked real clean. But I did have, I don't know, I had long hair at one point, yeah. I mean, and I also just had slick back hair at one point. I've had a lot of looks. I've stuck with this one for a long time, but I've had a lot of looks.
Yeah, I mean, right now it's very much 70s era rock star, long hair.
I'm going for a real Bob Seger look out here.
Yeah. Bob in 76, maybe.
Right, not Bob now. I want more people to call me Bob Seger instead of Wayne's World or some people call me, they say I look like a Walmart Billy Ray Cyrus.
I'm sure they mean well.
I know. I didn't know you could get more Walmart than Billy Ray Cyrus.
Dusty Slay is our guest. And once again, Dusty's new special is on Netflix, and it's called Workin' Man. And Dusty, also, you are on tour. You're going to be here and there. And when you stop in South Carolina, do you go back to Hyman's? And if you do, what do you get?
I love Hyman's. I worked there 2 times. The family propped me up for a long time, and I like to get. I like the crispy flounder. I mean, that's where you get the whole fish. It's delicious. I haven't been there in a long time, so I don't know what the menu is.
Yeah, we're
So
heading down there soon. I'm going down there with my family, and I want to know what to get. So I'll get the crispy flounder on your recommend. If I drop your name, will they be more attentive?
Well, I always tell people to ask for Eli and tell him that I sent them. I don't know if he's sick of that yet, but I always say that. I go, because I love Hyman's. I think it's great. And Eli told me a long time ago, he said, if you ever get famous, just mention Hyman's. Even if you make fun of us, just mention it. So That's what I've been doing since then. Okay.
By the way, speaking of Charleston, you're going to be in Charleston, West Virginia, coming up on April 12th. Lots of stops in the near future, including this week, Huntsville, Alabama, and then you're going to be in Indy, New Orleans, Lincoln, Iowa City, Atlanta. Lots of spots. Louisville coming up on April 19th. And Fargo, North Dakota in June. They're keeping you busy. Now, tell us a little about your personal life. How are things going in your world?
Well, it's going great. I have 2 kids now.
Wow.
I mean, it's like one day you have no kids and then all of a sudden you have 2 and you're like, this is happening quick. It's great. I love having kids, and I'm in my 40s now, and I remember when my dad turned 40, it was a big deal. We were like, dang, this guy's old. Like there was a sign in our yard that said, Lordy, Lordy, Richard's 40. We were like, dang, this guy's about to die, I guess, He's so old, the neighborhood's talking about it.
Now, I want to talk a little bit about your special, which is, as you mentioned, on Netflix. And where did you film it?
I filmed in Knoxville, Tennessee. Throughout my whole career, I do comedy in the South and the Midwest. And then the moment I need to film something, I end up going to New York City or L.A., where I hardly ever do comedy. So when I got to film my own thing, I was like, let's do it in the South. And I did the Bijou Theater. It's great. I love the way the special looks, the way it sounds. I'm happy with the jokes. I think it's very good. And I, to be honest, I would say that even if it wasn't good,
Sure.
but it is good.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Now, did you film just one show or more than one?
I did 2 shows.
And that is the result that we see, is it the 2 cut together, and are you wearing the same clothes?
Well, that would be funny. I think I should do a special.
What a great
sometime where I'm
question.
wearing different clothes.
Yeah.
That would be good.
No, I'm
in
asking.
the middle of a joke, his shirt changes.
When we filmed our Comedy Central special, one of the comedians' armpits were so bad in the second show they couldn't cut between the 2 because it was so obvious.
Oh, I love that.
Did you get pitted out? Is my question.
No. And I actually bought 2 of the exact same shirt. So if that happened, I'd be ready to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is cut between 2, but both shows went great. So I could have used any show, but I thought, hey, this is my opportunity to give the best possible show I can give. So I'm watching it and I'm like, I want this joke from this one, this joke from this one. It's hot, and
Okay,
I feel
good.
very good. I got a lot of,
Well, we have 50 seconds to continue our chat with Dusty Slade. Dusty, can you give me one just sample of what we're going to see when we watch the special?
Well, it's called Working Man. I used to sell pesticides for a living. I sold to different retail stores out here, and people would come in and they would ask weird questions. They'd be like, I'm looking for something organic. I'd like to kill the insects, but not harm the environment. And I'm like, well, how about a shoe?
Yes.
Dusty, that's great. Well, I'm glad you're doing so well. We've known you since the early days, and you're just a nice guy, and that's really important. And you can find out more about Dusty with Nate Bargatze on the Nateland podcast, and you can see the Netflix special. And in 3 seconds, Dusty, we hope to see you soon in person, okay?
Well, thank you very much. I always appreciate you guys having me on. You guys are great. Thank you.
Thank you,
thanks so
Dusty.
much,
Thank you,
Dusty.
Dusty.
God, he's funny. He's just a natural. He's such a nice guy.
And one of the best working today. Just so
Hey,
good.
now let me ask you something. You record 2 different stand-up shows, Josh.
Yeah.
Now, do you have to wear the same clothes in
Yeah,
both?
what a
I didn't have to because I just did audio.
Oh, that would be interesting.
Dusty's going to get the same dumbass questions from everybody else. He's doing a bunch of interviews today. At least we've asked dumbass questions that are not the same dumbass questions that other dumbasses ask.
Fair enough.
What presidents are on Mount Rushmore, Dusty? How many? You are...